I have a Jupiter line on my midheaven, and I live near that Jupiter line. And I also have a Mars IC line in my current location. So I have them opposite in my natal chart, and so it's a conflict, by the way. And I live between those two lines. Not between those two lines, but very near to them. And um, very near, I mean, yes, sorry. And this conflict is always felt by me, was always felt by me. And this place has a calling. My natal chart is an inner calling. Your natal chart is an inner calling. And your astrocartography map, your astrogeographical map is your outer calling. So if you live near some line, that line will reveal what your destiny will call you at that place, call you to do. So some people live there near their moonlights, and this moonlight will influence because the people will feel the emotions coming more intensively, and depending the angle, I suppose you have the moon in ascendant. The moon in ascendant will make you more sensitive, and you will attract that sensitivity. But that's only because that place has this calling for you to put out more emotion, to to be more visible with your emotions, and don't have that fear, don't have that that break when it comes to opening yourself. So if you live towards a moon AC line, you get the influence, for example. If you live near a Pluto line will call for transformation and will require from you the posture of accepting what comes to you and not trying to fight against. Accepting in a mean like, okay, this is some huge transformation point here. So what should I learn with this, all this that is coming to me? And let the chaos be the chaos. Whatever the meaning is, whatever how hard it is, and it will be harder, especially if you resist a lot. So when it comes to astrology, one of the highest points and one of the greatest tools that I consider in astrology is astrocartography because it has this power of telling you precisely what are your callings in the current area that you're living in. And perhaps if you move, all right, if you really want to change, you have to do whatever you can to move because some lines are stronger than others. Of course, the planetary line is stronger than a planetary aspect line. Let's suppose you have a planet doing an aspect to your ascendant, like you live in a place where you have a Venus square ascendant, all right? That line will have an influence. We'll get the bad side from the Venus ascendant line, the planetary Venus ascendant line. So when you look at the negative aspects of the Venus ascendant line, and trust me, it has, all right? It has, every planet has the good side and the bad side. And when it comes to astrocartography as well, you should consider the side of the line you're living because some planets will have a better influence to the west, some planets will have a better influence to the east. And what truly matters is you have to understand that influence will be there and will kick back to your life many, many times until you learn the the real evolution from it. What can you integrate in your personality? What you can do different, all right? Because if you don't feel well about certain energy, it is a something that is showing you clearly that you have to change your perspective towards that uh, area of life, towards that uh, behavior you're putting in. So we need to be humble, all right? Because our natal charts, they, it teaches us so much. And when you look at astrocartography, you learn a new field, completely new field, which will add really, really a lot more of meaning to your natal chart. Because I always knew I had Mars in the fourth house, for example, but when I discovered that I was living near that Mars IC line, so that is an amplifier, all right. I'll feel much more my Mars in the fourth house. So the influences I get here, not easy, all right, because Mars is not easy in general, but the house, I have Mars in a terrible house. So I'll always feel stressed out, agitated in my home, and living with my parents and stuff. So it's always a calling for my independence as well, because Mars is very independent. And living in my Jupiter mid-heaven line, when I was 18 years old, very young, I already decided that I was going to be a teacher. So I am an English teacher here where I live, and I live in Viamão, Brazil, which is in the very south of Brazil. And I mean, there's some good aspects here. I really feel that Jupiter line. Not so much, not all the time, because I have the Mars line as well, and I have a Venus square midheaven, so that it influences in a negative way. All right, and that Jupiter line is great. I'm not specifically in the best side of the line, so I am east of the line, and I should be west of the line. But anyways, I don't plan to move far away from here because I always had great job opportunities here after I was graduated. After I graduate, sorry. And good job opportunities. I have good colleagues. I had important lessons as well. I had many important lessons because Jupiter is this fucking teacher, and you just can't run from it. You need to be humble to learn more. And I also had a real calling for religion here as well. So all the Jupiter things in my public image house, which is the midheaven. So I already have Jupiter in my 10th house, and living near this Jupiter MC line, I feel more, just like the Mars. I feel way more that energy. That energy is amplified. So my calling here is to act in these fields, to participate, to create there, to change there as well, especially in concerning with the past and the home, because the past is the fourth house. Fourth house is not an easy house if you have some agitated planet in. So yeah, considering the fourth house is ruled by the moon. So if you have moon in the fourth house and in a good sign and a good aspect at moon, that will be perfect for you. You will have a wonderful home, you know, which is something I truly believe. I always believed it is a basic thing that everybody should have. It's like the dignity pack. All right, so I'll be doing these videos again. I'm back, and I will be recording more naturally. I don't want to cut these videos anymore, and we're gonna talk about this important fields. All right, and do after I'm gonna do a playlist of the ascendant videos. I will keep posting them, and that's it. That's it. That's for the now. Thank you.